Welcome back, everybody. I'm Rara,
And I'm Ty.
and today we are going to tell you guys about our love story,
Yes.
how we met. Right?
hmm I met you.
Why
And
you got your nipple hanging out?
why you gotta talk about my nipple?
So, how do you want to start this?
You start off with the story.
Okay, so he was like head over heels in love with me, and like we just kicked off from there.
What type of story are you telling?
Okay, for real.
Heads over.
So, yeah, you were heads over heels for me.
Oh, okay.
You wasn't?
No, I wasn't.
Really?
I wasn't heads over heels for you. Not the first day I met you. Come on, man.
Okay. Anyways, well, we started off in different areas in life. Fatai was newly single and it was about to be officially concrete. And I was alone for about 3 years. I was celibate for 3 years. Yeah. So I ended up going to an event that he was at from a mutual friend. And we didn't even see each other that day. So that to me, I know it was divine timing because he wasn't all the way single yet. So we didn't meet yet at that day party. But 5 months later, the mutual that we had, he called Fatai up and asked him to be in a photo shoot for his new drop of his clothing line. And my cousin was actually supposed to be the other person, the female in the shoot, but she ended up getting really sick. So I was like a last minute fill in, and that was another divine timing thing, in my opinion. So I show up, Fatai was there, he had his son, and we were introduced. And I don't know, your eyes lit up like a puppy.
It did.
You were just like, oh my God. But I wasn't really paying attention for real.
But I wasn't head over heels like you tried to explain it earlier. My
No, I know
eyes
you
did
wasn't.
light up like a puppy, but I wasn't head over heels. I'm sorry.
Well, at least, don't be sorry, be careful. So his eyes lit up like a puppy. I was just over exaggerating. I know you weren't head over heels. Like, you were head over something else.
I don't know what she's
So
talking about, but okay.
when we were introduced, we shook hands. Well, you reached your hand out to shake my hand, right?
Yeah, I did.
And I was a little apprehensive because it was during the pandemic. So I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to touch people.
It wasn't during the pandemic.
It was kind of during the pandemic.
No,
Almost
it
3
wasn't.
years ago.
You're a germaphobe. That's the problem.
It
It was not the pandemic.
almost 3 years ago.
She's
It was
just a germaphobe.
no. It was like still happening. It was still happening.
Okay.
So I was like, you know what? Let me not be rude. I could always just go wash my hands, which I did do. And we shook hands. When we shook our hands, I felt something like an electric shock because I was just going to give you like this little, shake and just kind of, go about my business because I was trying to be single forever.
Oh, okay.
So when I shook your hand, I felt like a surge of energy. And it made me look at you in your eyes. And I don't know, I just like gazed deep into your eyes. It was like crazy. I don't know. But he was super smiley. And that's how I know that he was looking at me like, oh my gosh, look at her. Otherwise, I wouldn't have peeped it.
But I was looking like, oh my gosh, look at her.
Oh my gosh, look at her.
I'm glad you you telling the story for me as well.
You told me to tell the story, so
I
here I
did
am.
tell you to tell
I'm
the
gonna
story.
tell it how I want to tell it.
Like, she got my inner dialogues going, like how we do it on our videos. Like,
I mean, you was all, you was googly eyed a little bit back.
okay, I give you that.
Okay.
I mean, I couldn't be googly eyed because there was other dudes there too, so I had to, play my role like, I came here to work, and that's what I did. I came there to work.
He wasn't doing a good job at playing his role.
I did play my role.
So we did the photo shoot, and the two guys, I think it was 3 of us. So it was 2 guys, 1 female, me. You guys started doing your stuff first, and I was filming like the BTS of everything behind the scenes or whatever. And we got pitted together. So our mutual friend at the time already knew he was going to put us together to do the couple man female type of photo shoot. I was cool with that. You know, the other guy, I'm not even going to bring up the other guy, whatever. He don't matter.
Okay.
Because I got you. Right?
Yeah, you do.
So, I can't believe you making me tell this whole story by myself. And you know I'm ADHD, like I'm all over the place.
I don't really remember the story to the fullest like that.
You don't remember the story? You don't remember what happened?
I just remember partially some of the stuff that I said and you said and what happened.
Okay.
But as far as like the whole, you know, you explaining it as divine intervention, like, you know,
it was.
You put a little pizzazz on it, so that's why I said you could tell the story.
A little pizzazz. That little pizzazz is the only reason why I'm sitting next to you, honey. I hope you know.
Hey.
Yeah, B.
And you always tell me, like, you know, white people like a good love story.
We're
so.
not even going to put this part of the video because what the racist hell are you talking about? What? Anywho.
Anyway, continue.
Oh, God. So we got put together and we looked really good together, you guys. Like, so cute, so fly.
See the pictures?
Okay, period. So there was a point where Ty was really nervous. You were so nervous. You were looking like, oh my God, I can't believe that I got to do this photo shoot.
I don't know
you were
if
so
I was
stiff.
nervous now.
You were really stiff.
I was stiff because I'm just a stiff person in general. I can't dance. I can't barely move. So, hey, anything that I do, I'm typically stiff. So, I wasn't stiff because I was scared. I was stiff because that's just how I am as a person.
Well, I made you scared with my next comment. Because a mutual friend saw that he looked kind of uncomfortable and stiff and he wasn't really moving or doing anything. So he was like, yo, man, you know, you got a baddie next to you. Isn't she fine as hell? Like, look like she look good. Like, she look good, right? And I'm like, right, I do look good. Like, why aren't you looking like I look good? So I looked at him and what should I say, the uncut version?
Here she goes.
Should I say the uncut version?
Go ahead and say the uncut version.
So I looked at him and I was like, I'm fine as right?
I thought we couldn't curse on our channel.
I just said the uncut version and you just said say the uncut version.
I'm just asking.
So I looked at him and I was like, I'm fine as F, right? And he was sitting there stone faced, like deer in headlights. He could not utter a word. He was looking so lost.
I actually answered the question.
Yeah,
I actually said
let me
yes.
let me say the rest.
Jesus.
So he was sitting there looking like just frozen. He was looking frozen. Okay. And then I had to ask you again. But when I asked you again, like we were closer than we're sitting now. Come close. Show the people.
What are you talking about?
So I forgot. Like maybe I was like this.
There's a picture. You go put the picture on the screen.
Okay, I'm gonna put the picture on the screen. Okay. I'm trying to remember now. And I was like, I'm fine as F, right? And then he was like, yeah. I was like, right. And then we went back to second. That's when I bagged him. I didn't know that's when I bagged him. That's when you
bagged me?
That's when I bagged you, babe.
Really?
That's when I bagged you.
Oh.
I didn't know I bagged him at that moment because, you know, I was just there taking care of business. You know, if I'm going to be in the photos, they got to be right.
You actually bagged me the first moment that you walked in. That's when you bagged me. That little moment.
It's too early to make me cry.
Wasn't the moment that you bagged me when you said I'm fine as fuck, right? So the moment that you bagged me was when you walked in, and the whole time I was playing it cool because you had another dude on your heels. So I had to play it cool and not seem thirsty, you know. So when I played it cool the whole time, that's part of why I was stiff. but not the whole reason of the stiffness. I'm just a stiff person.
Gotcha.
So that's my version of the story.
Now we getting down to the nitty gritty.
Uh-huh.
So you were cool. You were playing it cool. That's what was happening? So you were all in your head? I bagged you the second that I walked in or the second that we shook hands?
The second that you walked in. I didn't have to shake your hands.
Oh my God. Are you trying to shame me because I didn't want to be in a relationship with anybody?
I'm not trying to shame you.
That's what it kind of seemed like. It seemed like that you trying to... That's what you're trying to say?
Nah, I'm not saying
That's what you're saying.
Anyway, let's move on.
So, he did play it cool, and that's why he bae now, right?
Yes.
I can't stand somebody thirsty. I like people that take their time, you know? So, you took your time.
I took my time.
I like that. But his son was there too. And I was like, oh, you know, his son is so cute. And, you know, so I was there around his son. I was there around him. And I really liked the fact that he was a father to his son and his son was there with him. And I know that the mutual friend told me that it was your off day. So you had him the whole day. And I was like, oh, okay, you know, cool. But again, and no shade to you, babe. I was not looking for anybody. I did not want to be in a relationship with anybody at all whatsoever, period.
That's lies.
No, I didn't. No.
When she saw this fine, sexy chocolate man right here, her eyes lit up.
They sure did, y'all.
They did. You ain't got to lie to the people.
You ain't got to lie, Craig. So, we didn't exchange any contact information or anything like that.
I told you I wasn't trying to act thirsty, so I didn't say, hey, what's your number? But I played it cool, and I was like, until we meet again.
He let a good one get away. No. So, anyways, I guess you follow me on Instagram.
Yes, I did.
But I didn't know. And I think you messaged me on Instagram, but I didn't see it. You were in my request. And it's so funny because I just told you today I've never seen I don't look at my request. So when you popped up in there, I didn't know that you DM'd me.
I don't know what I said the first time I DM'd you, but...
Oh, it's okay. We're going to put it up on the screen.
You could put it up on the screen. We're gonna show the people.
We're going to show the people, yes. So you DM'd me, but I didn't see it. And then it was really close to my birthday. Well, around the time where I'm going to start scheduling my birthday, whatever I do for my birthday. And I was probably going to do something different. I think this particular year... I just wanted to, I don't know, go out on a whim. The year before, I went out of the country by myself, so I just wanted to, you know, do something. I don't know. So I put it up in my stories like, hey, guys, what should I do for my birthday? And you were one of the people that responded. Do you remember what you said?
I said you should go to the Maldives.
He said I should go to the Maldives. And I was like, who is this talking about I should go to the Maldives? And then that's when I went to your page. And I was like, oh, he's following me. So... I guess let me follow him back. And then I sat there and I was like, should I respond back to this? Because I know that, you know, I don't want to be in a relationship with anybody. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to put the phone down and not even respond.
Wait a minute. Okay. So before you even continue, what was so difficult about responding to me saying you should go to the Maldives? How does that have any correlation to being in a relationship?
Because I know myself. And look at me, Fitchton. I know myself. Oh. And it wasn't that you weren't attractive. Like, I was attracted to you when I first met you. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to keep the promise to myself and not engage with anybody else. So I knew that if I engaged, like, I'm not stupid. If you DMing me or you in my stories, I know you're interested and I didn't want to drag you along. So I was just like, yeah, I'm probably not going to respond because I don't want to be in anything with anybody.
What if I just wanted to be friends?
I ain't want to be your friend.
You don't want to be my friend?
Yeah, I already knew I didn't want to be your friend.
Oh.
I wanted to be more than friends.
Oh, okay. But I was the one that was head over heels. You see this?
I wasn't head over heels, but I know my type. Like, You my type.
Oh, okay. You my type too.
Thank you, babe.
You're welcome, babe.
Anyway.
Continue.
So it was I didn't want to respond. It was hard because I didn't want to flirt and I didn't want to drag him along. I didn't want to be disobedient to my promise to God. So I was like, you know what? This is just not it. I'm just going to, put the phone down and walk away from it. Literally walk away from it. So as soon as I got up and I took like 2-3 steps, I stopped dead in my tracks. It was almost like against my own will. I stopped in my tracks, and I had a memory of a TikTok of some girl talking about your Venus return. And I looked it up, and it was like months prior to all of this. And it said that my Venus return was going to be like January 6th or 7th. And I completely forgot about it. But when it came back to me, I read like who my person was going to be, and I think it was my Venus return was in retrograde. It was saying something about me meeting my partner, and they were going to be, I think it was like in Sagittarius, so they were going to be in travel, maybe a professor or aviation or something like that. And I just kind of like forgot about that, but it came back to me, and when I remembered all of that stuff, I remembered that our mutual friend told me he was the only one to tell. He told me only your occupation. He didn't tell me the other guy's occupation. He told me that you were. Should I say it?
No.
He's
Sorry.
in aviation. Can I say that?
Yes.
Okay, he's in aviation. So he told me that he was in aviation, and I was like, oh, okay. And like I said, I wasn't worried about it because I wasn't trying to come up. I wasn't trying to date you. I wasn't trying to do anything. I was just like, okay, I'm just here so I can do the photo shoot and go. But when it came back, I was like, oh, maybe this is a sign. And I took another step away from the phone, and I remembered God sending me like, I had my intuition hit that a new person, I could feel like a new person's energy coming into my existence months before. And I dismissed that as well because every time I felt like somebody was coming in, I told God, I was like, no, like, I'm good. So when that second one came in, that's when I looked back at the phone and I was like, God, are you sure? I'm literally asking God, like, are you sure, God? And God was like, go get the phone. And I was like, okay. So I responded to you and I was flirting a little bit. I said it to the phone, but I was responding to his message. And I said, Maldi, you sounds like a great, little plan, but what am I going to do? I'm going to go by myself. And I was like, or are you going to take me?
Yeah, it was a nice little, Instagram video response that she gave me. And I could tell she was trying to flirt with her video response. And, I was like, from there, it's about to be on. And,
And it's been on.
And it's been on since then.
But yeah, so after that, you hit up the mutual friend and start asking questions about me. And I hit the mutual friend up and start asking questions about you. And that person, hater, because did not give us any information on each other for real at all whatsoever. Yeah. Told us he's trying to be cool, and that's cool. You should be cool, but I don't be cool. So did not give us no information and basically told both of us, like, talk to them and find out.
Yes, he did.
And I was like, okay.
So,
whatever.
We ended up talking to each other. And
for how long?
We first started off with a whole bunch of Instagram messages. I don't remember what we were talking about on Instagram.
I remember what we was talking about.
Oh, okay. All right.
I remember I said something about, are you going to wait until Jesus come to hit me up?
Yeah, I think we were, at that point, we were trying to transition from Instagram to
you trying to
talking
get my number.
to the phone, talking on the phone. So we ended up transitioning to talking on the phone, and after that, right, we started talking for hours and hours and hours.
How many hours and hours and hours?
I think one night we talked for, I don't know, I think, was it 13 hours? 16 hours?
That's a The first night we
It was
talked for
8 hours.
7 or 8 hours.
Yeah.
It was 7 or 8 hours.
It was 8 hours or something.
It was
like
a
that.
long time. First phone call.
Yeah, it was 8 hours. And I think it went until like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning or something like that.
Yeah, I think he told me to call you at like 7 or something like that.
But yeah, she told you guys like what she was looking for at the time. At the time, for me, I was just looking for somebody that can just be...
I didn't tell them what I was looking for.
You did tell them what you was looking for.
Oh, okay. Don't be yelling at me.
See? Here you go.
Oh. Okay, I was looking for nothing.
She was looking for nothing, and me, I was also not really looking for anything myself.
Yeah.
I was just in these streets.
He was in these streets. I wasn't in these streets as much as he was in these streets.
I was in these streets, and yeah, I wasn't really looking for anything. I was just, hanging out that summer, living my best life. Mm-hmm. And then, when I ran into her, I was like, okay, let me see what she's about. So I took the leap of faith and decided to hop in her DM one day.
It goes down in the DM, babe.
Did a photo shoot together.
Yeah.
But overall, though, like, I was just chilling. I wasn't really looking for any relationship type deal either.
So how did we go from not looking for anything to almost getting married like the next month?
I think that's called love.
No, babe. Yeah, babe, but no, babe. That's not the answer I'm looking for. What I'm saying is, how did you know that I was serious?
Oh, I knew you were serious when you started asking me those dating questions.
And how did they make you feel?
They made me feel like I was in an interrogation room with a detective or something. Like, those dating questions are definitely some serious questions to answer. So when you asked me those dating questions, I knew, like, oh yeah, she's definitely serious about what's going on as far as me and her.
Yeah, because God had me on one point, right? But I had to make sure I held up on my point. So God did some of the work. I had to make sure I was going to do some of the work. I didn't want to be sitting there and talking about, oh, what do you like to do? And what's your favorite color? And what's your favorite food? And I ain't had time for that. Like, I got straight into it.
Yeah. So when you started asking me those questions, that's when I knew you was definitely serious, and you were intentional about what you wanted. When I saw that, I was like, okay, like, I can't play no games with this one, because the moment I start playing games, like, probably might lose a real good one.
I'm out the door.
At the end of the day, like, I made sure that I answered the questions to the best of my ability.
And here we are.
So
you did. You answered them really well.
Yeah, I know. And, I don't remember my answers.
I do. I wrote them down.
I remember, like, one of the questions was like, what's your favorite color or something like that.
That was the last one, yeah.
And I was like, black. And then one of the questions was like, what's your favorite animal? Was it what's your favorite animal?
Oh, okay. So I had pre-dating questions, and then I asked him psychological questions. It was a psychological game. Remember, I was like...
Why are you asking psychological questions? Like...
Because I needed to know. I needed to know your personality. I can't remember what the name of it is, but it was something like, envision a ladder. Now, where is the ladder? Is it standing up? Is it laying down? How big is it? How close is it? Now, envision a cube. How big is the cube? How close is it to the ladder? Stuff like that. So we played that little game, and it was really interesting. And I think I asked you, like, if you were a body of water, what body of water would you be? And then you chose, like, this. You just gave me some random answer.
I thought you said you remember my answers.
No, I had to pull them up. But I said I wrote them down.
You supposed to have my answers memorized, man.
Almost 3 years later.
Yes.
No.
You don't know what's my favorite body of water?
Half the time, I don't even know where my phone is. Like, oh, I could have remembered something from 3 years ago. No, you told me an answer that wasn't the actual answer, though.
I said my favorite body of water is the Nile River.
That's what you said. You right.
Yes, that's what I said.
You said it because you like Egypt. You didn't answer it like, what is your actual favorite body of water in totality? Not because you have a fixation on that.
So what was the motive of the question again? What is my favorite body of water? Like ocean, lake, river? Is that what you're asking?
Well, actually, I think your answer was true. A little bit.
Huh?
No, it wasn't true. It wasn't true. It's supposed to tell you about your sexuality.
You guys don't go asking people what's your favorite body of water.
You should absolutely ask people those questions, those psychological questions. It's so fun.
Nah, don't go asking people what's your favorite body of water, please.
But the funny thing about it is we had a really good time. We talked for 7 or so, 8 hours. Mm-hmm. And we planned a date. Mm-hmm. Right? So before we got off the phone, we planned a date. Mm-hmm. And that date that we went out on the date was the Venus return date that it said that I was going to be locked in with somebody. Mm. And I forgot. I didn't even remember the date. Mm. But yeah. And if I can find it, I'll put it up on the screen with the receipts of everything that we had going on, so you all can see like everything was divinely timed.
So, speaking of divinely timed, let's get into the yoga video that we posted on Instagram and as well as YouTube. Mm-hmm. So, speaking of divinely...
Wait, we got to say why we talking about the video. Oh. How viral did it go?
So, love language not having to ask. This video has 9.2 million views.
Crazy.
And I don't know how many likes it has, but it has a whole bunch of likes. And this video is our recent video that we just posted recently.
Yeah.
And it dives into not having to ask your partner to do anything.
No. Not having to ask your partner to join in.
To join in.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not to do anything. You're right.
No, it's okay.
Thank you.
I got you.
Anyway, so with that being said, when I met her, speaking of spirituality and, her Venus returns and all that stuff that she's been talking about, I didn't know anything about spirituality.
He didn't know what it was at all.
I didn't even know that this was a thing. People practice this type of stuff, because, I was in my own world and my own bubble. Mm-hmm. So spirituality was something that I never really thought about until she started talking about a whole lot of stuff that I was like, wait a minute. So
what did you think about me?
I really thought that you were a witch.
Yes, that's what you said.
Yes.
So
I thought I was in a whole bunch of trouble because I'm like, am I getting hooked because she doing some spells on me or something? Or what's going on?
Now some people do be doing stuff now. Be careful now. But no, I wouldn't do that.
But yeah, so I didn't even know spirituality was a practice. I didn't even know that people actually used it as far as yoga as a practice. I just thought yoga was yoga and people just did yoga as exercise. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So
you didn't know the spiritual aspect of it.
Yes. I didn't know there was a spiritual aspect of yoga. So when I met her, things started to change and I started to have a different outlook on things. And I think I started to have a little awakening myself as far as waking up and seeing what is actually out in the world and different things that different people practice and stuff. Once again, spirituality was definitely something that I didn't even know about when we first met until I met you.
And he just told me that today.
Yeah, I just told her that today because I was like, actually, this would be a good topic to talk about on our
Next
video
YouTube video,
that
yeah.
we do. And I was like, I never knew that there was a such thing as spirituality. It's just something that I just never thought about.
And here we are.
And here we are. So when it comes to our yoga video, love language, not having to beg, in that video, it took some time for me to warm up to a lot of the stuff that she wants me to partake in that she likes to do. Because a lot of the stuff that she likes to do, it involves spirituality. For a very long time, you were asking me, can we do yoga together? And I just sometimes will be like, nah, I'm not really trying to do yoga. And
The only reason why I would ask him multiple times was because you told me that you would try it on your own.
yes.
So I didn't push, I didn't ask at all, but he knew I was into it and he noticed that I wasn't as practicing as much and he didn't want to come into my life and cut out my practice. So he was like, "Oh, I'll do it with you to try to get me back into it, but you ain't do it."
Yeah, well, I wasn't going. But after she asked me, she just left me alone. And I just had to sit here sometimes and watch her do her yoga routine.
Because I'm still going to do it whether you do it or not, baby.
I'll just sit here, watch her, and walk into the room. I'll be like, oh, okay, like she's doing her yoga routine. She definitely is not missing a beat. So at the end of the day, I'm the type of person that likes to try new things. I don't shy away from trying new things. I embrace doing things that is uncomfortable for me. When I decided to do yoga with her one day, it was me stepping out of my comfort zone to try something new. And the thing about it is, I don't know what I was probably going through at the time. Maybe I just wanted to mentally try it out to see how yoga makes you feel spiritually. I was like, you know what? It's not bad to try it, you know? So I ended up trying it with you. And after the first time I tried it with you, I was like, oh, okay, this is not bad. Now, the poses, some of the poses, I used to be like, okay, we not about to watch that girl. I forgot the girl name that she had us watching on YouTube.
I had us watching, who is it? Boho Beautiful.
Oh.
But then you were like, no, she's too advanced.
Yes.
And then
we had to go to somebody up my speed like Adrian. So we had to go to Adrian because Adrian was doing the little poses that I could do. And, you know.
Okay, this is the hilarious part. He was screaming. He was like, "Oh hell no, I can't do this. I'm not doing it. What is she doing? Is she crazy?" And I promise you, babe, when you did all of that, I loved it so much because it showed me how similar we are. Even though we're really different, it showed me how similar we were because that's exactly how I was when I first started yoga. I was cursing up a storm, baby. I was like, this is supposed to be spiritual, and I cannot. Like, so yeah, Adrian, girl, he kind of cursed you out a little bit, girl. But I didn't do it in the beginning. I was like, But you ended up getting like really good.
Yeah, I did. You know, like all in all, I eventually joined her. And it was something that she didn't even have to beg me to do. I just joined on my own because I wanted to see what it was about. You know? When I actually joined you, I could actually tell how excited you were that I was actually joining and partaking and doing yoga with you. And you know, every single day that I actually partake in doing it, I love to see how happy you were on those days. And that's why I was like, you know what? I'm going to stick at it and I'm going to continue to join you whenever I can. So
that's beautiful.
This video that we did, love language, not having to beg, we said it on our last video, right? We don't always do videos that's related to our relationship. This video, yes, that was a video that we actually took from our relationship that we turned into a video. And she didn't have to beg me to join her to do yoga. So the one thing that I noticed from the comments from the videos is the guys saying that, hey, just use your words and communicate. For me, there's times that I feel like you just know what your woman wants, what you need to give to her at that time. You know what I'm saying? Without her even using her words. So there's times where I could feel your energy where I'm like, oh, she doesn't really have to say anything to me. I already know exactly what she needs and what she wants. You know what I'm saying? So when I get that intuition that I need to, step up and start doing stuff, I step up and start doing stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't shy away. I just, know what needs to be done. And, that's something, like I said, on our last video, you got to understand your partner.
So let's get ready to relive the moments.
We discovered the magic.
Tie
Tie and Rara rewind.
You did that really well.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So one thing that I noticed in there, it's really interesting because you definitely touched on the men saying, why don't you just ask? And a lot of women were annoyed with that because we said in the video that I'd already mentioned it before. You know what I mean? And it gets to a point where you don't want to nag.
Right.
At the same time, I'm the type of person that I'm going to definitely tell you because I'm a yapper.
Yes.
So I'm going to open my mouth and say, hey, you said you was going to do yoga with me. And if you don't, it's like, okay, fine. I'm never going to ask you again. I'm just going to do it by myself. Forget you.
Yeah.
So that's where our video differs from real life. Because I'm the type of person that I value autonomy, and not just my own autonomy, yours as well. But there is a certain level of self-accountability in a relationship. And I feel like a lot of people get boyfriend air. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Boyfriend air? So it was a thing on TikTok where basically when you get into a relationship with your guy, you completely lose yourself. You look a mess. You don't do all of the things you used to do. You might gain some weight. And I didn't want that. I still wanted to be able to figure out who we were and how we were together, but also keep on some of my practices. And it was juggling back then because it was kind of hard to do that. We lived so far from each other and we would only get so much time to spend with each other, and we wanted to spend as much time with each other as we possibly could. So it was kind of hard to keep up my practices, but eventually we got into the groove, and I brought one of my mats over here, and I was just like, okay, I got a mat at home. I got a mat over here. I can practice over here if I need to. So we were able to get back in the groove.
Yeah, we were.
You already touched on a lot of this already, but how do you feel that situation changed you as a person, being able to say, you know what, this is not something I'm familiar with. I don't even know what's really going on, but I noticed that I don't even think you noticed anything. I remember that day very vividly where you came and practiced with me for the first time. I came out here at night and I was just practicing, and you just showed up and started doing it with me.
Yeah.
I
remember that night.
Oh, well, let me finish the question. So what changed? Like, what do you feel within yourself, within our relationship, and even the practice that made you shift to say, let me go out on a limb and do something that I know that only she likes to do, and I don't even know if I'm going to like it?
What made me go out on a limb was the fact that when it comes to practicing something, the one thing that I know that a lot of people do is get lazy to practice it. Because when you practice something, you have to be committed to it every single day. And for me, I'm the type of person where I'm scared to practice something because I don't like commitment. as far as like, you know,
That's your Gemini moon.
practicing things.
That's his Gemini moon,
So,
guys.
you know,
Sorry.
when it comes down to it, I had to, like I said, I had to step out my comfort zone, grow some cojones, and actually start trying to see, okay, what can I practice on a day-to-day basis that will help me as a person. When I got with you, you made me realize how doing stuff like yoga can actually do good things for the body. Not good things.
Not the body, the soul.
The soul.
The spirit.
Yes.
Oh.
The mind, body, and soul.
Ooh.
You know, so there's things that I take from you as far as spirituality that is actually useful, and I can actually get down with it. So I'm not afraid of doing new stuff. So when it comes down to it, like whenever she wants to try something new, I'm down for it. And vice versa, whenever I'm down to do something outrageous that she's never done before, she's down for it. So
can I ask you something?
Yes.
When you did yoga, because when you hold certain poses, it can be a lot. Did something unlock in your mind like, wow, I can actually do this?
Yes. The poses is something that I've always been afraid to do. Because you know, the stigma about yoga is that it's a woman thing. And men are like, oh, if I do it, then I'm not being masculine or something. For me, I had to get out my 12-year-old mindset, like, oh, you're gonna be feminine if you're doing yoga, like, and actually do the practice to see what it's about. There are certain poses where it like hurts like hell. And then there's certain poses where I remember when we first started off doing yoga and you were telling me your feet has to be grounded to the earth and stuff like that. At first I didn't understand what that meant, but as we continued to practice, I understood what your feet being grounded to the earth meant. And that was having true balance, and it's a mindset thing, not a physical thing. And I'm the type of person that is so into sports where I'm trying to do everything physically instead of using my mind to actually do that actual pose. So,
and that makes it harder.
Yes.
Yeah. When you try to do it like it's an athletic sport, it makes the practice way harder. And something else that I told you, I used to tell you, because you would say, I can't do it, and you wanted to get out of the pose. And I would tell you, babe, if you get out of that pose, it's gonna hurt. And I remember I told you, you have to breathe.
Yes.
You have to learn how to breathe. And that's why yoga is so much deeper than just exercise. You're training your mind and you're training your breath. And once you do that, it makes it a lot easier to do.
Yes.
And you can hold the poses longer and you can go deeper into it. And that's why I asked you, when you did it, did something click in your mind like, wow, I can actually do, like, I'm stronger, but not necessarily physically stronger, more like mentally and emotionally stronger, because you're able to sit in it and take the uncomfortability and sometimes the pain to the point that when you push past that pain, you feel free in your body in a way. And then when you go back to the same practice and you see that you can go further even after you did only one practice, I think that was interesting to watch you go through that as well.
Yeah, that was definitely interesting.
Yeah.
So this segment, we're going to do our audience love.
Audience love.
And the first one we're going to do is, why do I love Ty Ty? No, actually, that's not what he said. He said,
baby is tired, okay?
He said, why do I love Ty and Ra so much? You guys are changing the narrative.
Yes.
Thank you, Graf.
Yes.
Emmanuel.
Yes.
This is so real. I love that she didn't nag him and he didn't ignore her. They each internally vocalized what they wanted, but considered their partner and put their desires over their own. Thanks for the reminder. Also, she looks great with strong black muscles.
Back muscles, babe.
Oh, back muscles.
I was about to say, what in the races? No.
What in the races is going on? I need to do yoga too.
Oh, thank you, love.
Actually, love this a lot. The communication wasn't completely verbal in this particular video, but it was established that they talked about it before. Both remembered, and he made the effort to join instead of not. He remembers, and she appreciates it.
Yes.
And the last one we're going to do is this one. As someone who grew up in a do everything in your own room family, learning to do things like yoga, art, and tarot readings in the living space in my home has cultivated so many unexpected family nights full of love. When people that love you see you doing something uplifting, confidently, and content, they will naturally want to join you. And not constantly asking them to make you feel more confident in doing it openly but alone. It makes them feel more free to do what feels good. Yoga is a perfect example here because he can notice that while doom scrolling feels good in the moment, yoga has lasting effects that make you feel good for an extended amount of time. And he sees that in his partner. I love this video.
Oh, thank you.
And that goes to what we discussed earlier about how I felt about yoga and coming and actually partaking and doing it. And, you know, she hit the nail right on the head.
You know what's interesting right now?
Uh-huh.
It's so interesting that even now, Ty is exhausted. But he's sitting here doing this video with us, and he is trying to push through.
Yes, I am.
Yes, Papa. You're doing a good job, babe.
Thank you, babe.
In case you guys haven't noticed, it was definitely my idea to say, hey, let's do our YouTube video tonight after we already spent hours filming short form. So thank you so much, Papa, for being here with me.
You're welcome, babe.
I love you.
I love you too. So that concludes the audience love segment. So what was a funny moment or a challenging moment during the process of making this video?
Well, this one had a double whammy. I was doing the yoga and I was doing the scenes. You needed a mat, so you took my mat, but my son previously had completely ripped this mat out of this world. It looks crazy, you guys. Like, I don't even know how we covered it. I can't remember. I think we like slid it underneath the couch or something.
Yeah, if you see that video again, half of the mat is underneath the couch while the other half is showing. And, you know, we know about you internet trolls. So.
Yeah, we had to, like, try to hide it to the best of our ability and position the camera in a way where you couldn't see it. So, yeah, and Ty was like, I'll just use that mat, babe. Like, he always takes on all of the things that I guess could, like, make my life a living hell.
Yes.
And he's always going like, you know what, I'll do it, babe. You don't have to worry about it. I love that about you.
I love that too.
But you be making me want to be like, no, I'll do it. But yeah, that was the really funny part. And when I did Warrior 1 into Warrior 2, I didn't do it correctly because I didn't wax under my armpits, so I didn't want to show my hair in that particular video. Yeah. Do you know Warrior 1, Warrior 2 pose?
Yes, I do.
Look at you, Papa. So yeah, that was the other behind the scenes, I bet you didn't know, type of vibes to that. But other than, and I guess the other thing, and I know you want me to wrap it up, so I'm gonna be real fast, you guys.
Oh my God. I don't want her to wrap it.
Oh, I'm thinking about you.
Come on, man.
I'm sorry.
Come on, man.
The other thing was the one piece that I wore was really tight, and I typically don't wear revealing or tight clothes, right? I didn't know that the back view of my back, I didn't know that my assets were sitting like that. I couldn't tell until we were done filming, and I was like, that's what it looked like. And I kind of, in the front, felt a little bit hyper aware. And I started with like a little cover up over me. And it's not like I'm scared to show my body. I'm not scared to show my body. I'm proud of my body. But I don't like to show it a certain type of way on the internet. Because it's thirsty people. I feel like there's people on the internet that otherwise wouldn't have been able to see my body like that. Like that one piece is typically something I wear in the house, or I put something big and long over it, so you know strangers wouldn't be able to see it. But I was like, well, this is the only clean thing I think I had. I don't think I wanted to show my legs because I didn't want to shave. Yeah, and I'm all about aesthetics.
Stuff going on.
I had a whole bunch of stuff going on, and I'm all about aesthetics, so I wanted to shave, but I didn't want to shave before the video because we had to hurry up and get it done. So I was like, this is the longest thing that I have that's athleisure that I can wear. And the way it was tucking my body, I was not prepared for that at all. Yeah. And we did get some, I guess, sort of inappropriate comments. Is it on that video?
No.
It's on another video?
Yes.
Okay. I feel like that's where they came from, though. So, babe, guess what?
What?
We hit 100K.
We sure did, didn't we?
We sure did. So, shout out to everybody on IG. We did our thing. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, we continue to make beautiful content to make everybody think about all of the positive and good choices they should be making in all their partnerships.
Yes.
And for that, we are going to celebrate by making mocktails.
Let's go make some mocktails.
Let's go make some mocktails.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you guys, so we are gonna make our mocktail. This is a completely organic drink. I don't know what I'm doing, but I made something very similar like this before, and I'm just gonna add a little agave to make it a little bit of sweet. Is that okay, babe?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna take 1/4 cup of each liquid, except for the mochi tea because it has a sizzle. We don't want to shake that sparkle out of there. But I'm gonna go ahead and take cranberry juice.
What did you say at the beginning? Did you say you're just randomly doing something?
Yes.
Okay.
But I know it's gonna taste good.
Oh, okay. I like the randomness.
You like that?
Yeah.
I know you like that, babe. And now I'm gonna take some of the peach.
Hey, I got a certified bartender.
Sure I do. Anzu. And I personally love the cinnamon touch. So we're going to add a little bit of cinnamon in there. Just for, you know, fall, winter vibes. Just a little splash.
Okay.
And now I'm going to put the organic light agave. Uh-oh. See, I got some Butterfingers. I don't know how much I'm putting it in, but you know I'm putting just enough or whatever. So, you know how you just said you have a certified bartender?
Mm-hmm. Did you go to school for this?
No, babe. You know I didn't go to school for this. Crazy. So
you would think she got a bartender's license.
I didn't get my bartender's license, and I'll tell you how you know I didn't get it, because I didn't put the ice to chill the shaker first.
Ghetto.
Fabulous, baby. Fabulous. Fabulous. So what I'm gonna do.
I like your ghetto drinks, Mom.
You like my ghetto drinks? So I'm gonna let that sit for a little second and chill the shaker. It just helps cool everything down faster. And once that is done chilling, I'm gonna go ahead and shake everything up in the shaker, and then we're gonna add some of this is sparkling, so Yuji matcha white strawberry. I have no idea what this tastes like. I just bought it because that's what I do. Yeah.
She just buy things.
Yeah, that's what I do.
That's
I just buy stuff. And then I go with the flow and something great comes out of it.
Okay. Let's see what God has let you create tonight.
Let's see what God has let me create. Oh, child.
What are you doing?
Oh, that actually tastes good. And it kind of tastes like liquor. Babe.
I don't taste
Please, please, please.
No. Yeah.
Kind of tastes like sweet beer. Okay, so let's chill.
I like it.
You like it? Thank you, Papa. I like that you like it. Oops. So you guys get to see all the little mistakes in between. Look at her.
Mm-hmm. Why are you licking the cup?
We're drinking it.
One thing about you is you're the most clumsy individual I've ever met.
Thank you.
But yet you still like to do clumsy things that turns into you being clumsy.
Thank you.
I don't even know if it's clumsy. I think you just be trying stuff. Then it turns out to being clumsy.
Thank you.
That's what you do.
Hey, it looked good to me.
Because you be you over here shaking it up and stuff. And next thing you know, the whole cup is gonna be flying.
It's not.
All over the place.
No, it's not.
Sure.
Just because you're talking all of that fast, I'm giving you less juice. So if I had some garnish, I will garnish this, but I don't. So
You did a good job, Mama.
thank you, Papa. Let's go back and head to the couch.
Let's head to the couch.
Okay, so even though this is an experiment, I think it's gonna taste good.
Hopefully it does.
It will. You ready to cheers? Oh my goodness, please. Cheers. I like it.
She cinnamoned it up. I don't know if cinnamoned is a word, but there's a whole lot of cinnamon in this drink.
Well, I topped it with cinnamon.
I know, I saw that.
You don't like cinnamon?
I do like cinnamon.
So, are you saying you like it?
I do like it. But you made a cinnamon drink.
You want to know why?
Why?
Because cinnamon is abundance.
Mm.
Yeah. And we want to bring more abundance to ourselves in 2025 and share some abundance with you guys too.
Okay. Okay.
Funny story. When we cut, I decided, I don't have any garnish, so let me put garnish on top. I thought I was garnishing with cinnamon, but I ended up garnishing with cayenne pepper.
Clumsiness at its finest.
Hey, I'm sleepy too. Like, cut it out. But yeah, I scooped it out. But I tasted some of the scoop. It actually tastes really good. So it gives kind of sweet, savory. You can definitely taste the mochi, matcha, strawberry, pure white tea. But it had, I don't know, it's everything all together. The peach, the cranberry, the cinnamon.
Yeah, you could taste every single thing that you put in here. You did a good job.
Thank you, babe.
You're welcome.
It tastes really good. It tastes like berries. Thank you for surprising me and buying this super long hat.
Oh, you're welcome. Anything for you, babe.
And you said I'm clumsy, and you got me something where I could definitely be so clumsy. But
yeah. So what are some lessons that you've learned or advice that you could give to the people out there in the YouTube universe?
I think I will start, because I'm the yapper, so you can chill, babe. It's okay. I got you.
I'm gonna let the yapper yap.
Yeah, period. I'm going to start with personal. Personal, I understand that it's okay to do what I want to do with or without you. And even though it feels really good for you to join in, and I'm really big on family and community, especially healthy family and community, I think that once I learned no matter what, I should continue my own practices, whether you join or not, that made me feel really good about myself. Because I feel like in a lot of relationships, we tend to blame our partners or our exes or whatever for all of the things that we couldn't do or all of the things that we wouldn't do, so on and so forth on the relationship. But you're in control of that. That's completely up to you whether you're going to do something or not going to do something. So I don't want to ever put us in a predicament where I'm blaming you for not doing what I want to do. So even if I have to lay down a boundary and say, no, babe, this is my time. I want to do this with myself, or I want to get up and go for a walk or whatever. And if you're not down for that, I don't have to make you feel bad for that. And I don't have to make you do those things. I can just get up and go do it myself. And while I feel like in relationship, you want to do everything with your partner to feel like you're in a relationship, but you also don't want to lose yourself in a relationship. And I feel like men in general are really good at doing what they want to do, even when they're in a relationship. And you guys get a lot of bad light for that and a lot of slack for that. But I feel like women, we can incorporate more of that as well, to take more time to ourselves. And there's been plenty of days where I'm just like, you know what, you want to chill and lay in the bed because you're exhausted from work, I'm going to go out. I want to go to the mall. I want to go shopping. I want to go to the city. I want to go for a walk. I want to, and when I leave, it gives us time apart where we miss each other and we have things to share with each other.
Yeah, because we don't get those moments no more.
No, we don't.
And I told you that once we start living together, it's gonna be a change in how people feel about each other when they start living with each other.
Yeah.
And I remember we went on a date a couple of weeks ago, and you were like, "This reminds me of when we used to go out on our date nights." Because we used to drive every single time at night to wherever we were going. Mm-hmm. Now that we live together, we actually go on dates when the sun is out.
Yeah. We do brunch dates now.
Yes. We don't do night dates.
Yeah, or breakfast dates. We go out.
Yeah.
We're like with the old folks, the 65 and up. But yeah, that was really nice. It put me back into that essence of oh, I'm so in love. And it's what do they call the first part of a relationship?
The
honeymoon stage. Yeah, yes. It felt like the honeymoon stage again. Because we have kids, you guys. You guys don't really see them that often. You might see them a little bit more often, but we have kids. They have responsibilities, after school activities, all type of stuff. So, we're parents. We're doing the family thing over here.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, sorry. I have one more part. So that's personal.
That's personal.
For content creating, I think that advice or lessons that I've learned, because this is another genre, we have a couples page, but I have my own page, and I did all type of skits for spirituality with my higher shadow and ego self, and I blew up with that first before I met you. Actually, you saw that on my page when you were lurking, didn't you?
Lurking is such a strong word. I was not lurking.
It is strong. You were lurking though.
Yeah, I was not lurking.
Okay, what do you call it? Investigative process?
I was just looking.
You were doing that FBI work?
I was just looking. That's all I was doing was looking.
But yeah, when you saw my stuff, you were like, what did you say you thought about me when you saw what I did on social media?
I said that she's gonna be a star.
Well, look at you.
Yes, because the work that she does is incredible. Her acting skills is incredible.
Oh.
And overall, like if you actually look at her characters, um, it's informational and funny content. So when I saw it, I was like, yeah, this is an instant hit, and she has a bright future. So yeah, overall, I was amazed with what I saw from her, and that made me want to learn from her if we did content or if we didn't do content. Like, I just wanted to learn, like, how she actually does it, in a sense. Like, and I'm not a content creator. I never was a content creator, and I still consider myself not a content creator.
You're a content creator.
But overall, like, she does amazing work on our content as well as her content. So, you know,
thank you, babe.
My baby gonna be at the Oscars one day.
Oh yeah, period. Yeah. Period. Remember that time I said I'm gonna win a Grammy?
How you gonna win a Grammy? You can't sing.
Oh, I can blow. Please. Anyways, so I will say that being successful on my own and being successful with my partner and our couples page, I think the best thing to do, of course, is start, right? Mm-hmm. Just start creating content, whatever it is, no matter how cringy it is, but don't get complacent. I never hear anybody say that. I never tell you never to get complacent. As you create content and you get comfortable in the area, you jump to the next area, you grow, you try things out. Don't ever be scared to pivot and learn and, you know, try to, what do I want to say? Like, not steal other people's content, but like Ty said, try to figure out how they do what they do and broaden your abilities. You know what I mean? So try to do whatever you can do to figure out what's right for you, because people always say, just be yourself. Okay, what part of myself? Because every part is not going to make it, right? Mm-hmm. But you want to do what feels good. You want to do what you see yourself doing in the next 5 years, so on and so forth. And just start.
Yeah.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to be different.
Mm-hmm. So, with that being said, we're going to wrap this up.
You don't have nothing to add?
Nah. Hey, y'all going to have to catch me on the next sit down with Ty and Ra.
Yeah.
You know, like.
That's cool.
I gave y'all what I could give y'all tonight.
I gave y'all all I got.
I gave y'all all I got. But it's time to go.
Toodles.
So, with that being said, peace, love, and a little bit of spice. Mwah.